American justice just broke, and Donald Trump swung the hammer. A prosecutor with zero courtroom experience, chosen for loyalty over law, indicted former Federal Bureau of Investigation Director James Comey at Trump's direct order. This was not law, it was revenge under floodlights. If a former FBI director is not safe, neither are you. By the end of this, you will see how one man's vengeance is turning the American legal system into a weapon, and why silence now risks your own freedom later. Welcome to the progressive wave. Truth, resistance, no compromise. Subscribe now and stand with a community that exposes corruption and defends democracy before it is erased. Trump has wanted Comey's head since his first term, and now, armed with Supreme Court-granted immunity, he is seizing his chance. His hand-picked appointee, Lindsay Halligan, a loyal personal lawyer with no prosecutorial background, indicted Comey in less than a week on the job. Career prosecutors objected, her predecessor resigned in protest, and yet the charges were shoved through at the last possible moment before the statute of limitations expired. Ask yourself, is this justice or is this mob rule dressed in a beige suit? Every democracy lives or dies on its institutions. For nearly half a century, since Watergate, the Department of Justice has kept presidents at arm's length. But Trump has shattered that barrier. He purged prosecutors who worked on his cases, installed loyalists who adopt his enemies as their own, and demanded action driven not by evidence but by vendetta. A former Justice Department official put it bluntly, "We are seeing the wholesale collapse of the Department of Justice as an organization based on the rule of law." Wholesale collapse. Should loyalty to one man ever outrank loyalty to the law? Tell me below. This indictment is not just about Comey. It is a message written in handcuffs. Resist Trump, and you could be next. This is what authoritarian power looks like. The weaponization of prosecution as a warning to dissenters. Today it is Comey. Tomorrow it could be journalists, activists, or even ordinary citizens who dare to stand in opposition. Resistance to power is not a crime. It is the heartbeat of democracy. Blind justice, not bowed justice. Trump's defenders cry, fair play. They argue that since Trump was prosecuted, he has every right to retaliate. But here lies the contradiction. Biden never appointed his personal lawyers to prosecute Trump. Biden never declared publicly that Trump must be indicted. The cases against Trump, whether federal or local, followed months of investigation, checks by judges and normal procedures. Trump's case against Comey? It was rushed, politically engineered, and executed against the advice of career professionals. Justice is supposed to be blind. Trump ripped off her blindfold and shoved a bright red cap where her sight should be. If you believe justice must be blind, tap like so this message travels. Think about the precedent this sets. If presidents can order prosecutions of their enemies, what happens when the next one takes power? Do we really want every election to mean a new wave of courtroom purges and retaliatory indictments? Or do we still believe in a system where the law is stronger than the man? No ruler stands above the law, and no citizen falls beneath it. Here's another contradiction worth holding up like a mirror. Many who cheered Trump's conviction for falsifying records now look away when he weaponizes the same courts to crush his rivals. Others who scream about political witch hunts celebrate this very witch hunt. If justice only applies to your side, then it is not justice, it is revenge. And revenge corrodes the very soil of democracy. What safeguard would you pass tomorrow to keep presidents out of prosecutions? Drop one concrete idea in the comments. Picture this. A courthouse at dusk, reporters outside, cameras flashing, and inside a prosecutor, untested, unqualified, delivering charges that could reshape the republic. That image will haunt American history books, not as the triumph of law, but as its betrayal. No ruler stands above the law, and no citizen falls beneath it. Here is the truth we cannot escape. Trump has bent the Department of Justice into a personal enforcement arm. He has destroyed the post-Watergate norm that presidents stay out of prosecutions, proof that Trump has weaponized justice for revenge. He has taken the lessons of Watergate and burned them. And by doing so, he has lit the match to democracy's most fragile safeguard, the independence of justice. If you refuse a future where presidents prosecute enemies like kings, subscribe and stand with us. If this shocked you, say so below, and add one reform you would pass tomorrow. Trump got the retribution he sought, but in the process, he shattered the norms that once protected every American. Do not let silence make you complicit. Like this video, share it with someone who still believes in democracy, and subscribe so this movement grows stronger. Because if we do not resist now, the question is not whether justice survives, but whether we do.